Hello, I'm CommanderZander. I remember it so that a stage critic doesn't have to. And neither should you. Well, you know the old saying, all good things must come to an end. Except it won't be the case in this one. Now there's another saying that will be used for this. We've saved the best for last. And that's exactly what we've done with Daniel Day-Lewis month, because we're going to be reviewing My Left Foot. It's about the story of Christy Brown, the man who was paralyzed with the exception of one mobile product, his left foot, which he uses to create art. In my opinion, this is probably one of Daniel Day-Lewis's finest works, and it's Lorenzo's Oil meets Ray. Except it really isn't that, because this movie came out before those two. But it's still a great movie nonetheless. So with that, let's wrap up Daniel Day-Lewis month with My Left Foot. We start the movie with a typewriter, because those were popular in the days. And my left foot, so much better than the other foot. As we see Christy Brown grabbing a CD. Yes, because there were CDs at the time. I mean, good gravy, this is unbelievable. Can you imagine if people were able to use their feet to function properly? This would be incredible. As he does this, we see the people responsible for the movie, and no, YouTube, this is not for monetary purposes, this is strictly for review. Credit goes to the people responsible for this movie, like Granada and Noel Pearson. And there is Daniel Day-Lewis. Not really much yelling in this one, but you get the gesture. Now, one other little nugget note. There are two other people that you'll probably recognize if you're familiar with Home Alone 2 Lost in New York and the Harry Potter movie franchise. Because the mysterious woman who Kevin befriended in Home Alone 2 is in this movie, and the woman responsible for being Aunt Petunia was also in this movie of My Left Foot, the story of Christy Brown, with a Y, not I-E like a girl, because he's not a girl, he's an awesome dude. As we start with opera music and a car driving by, because Christy Brown is waiting to go to some ceremonial thing, dedicating himself.
Hello, my name is Mary. I'll be with you till you go on this evening.
This is Mary, the guy that Christy Brown would ultimately marry, and they kind of give it away at the end. This is Christy Brown's mom, and yes, you recognize her right away.
Be careful of that fella.
I'll be okay.
I wouldn't be too sure about that.
And this is the other actress you might remember. As you see Christy Brown going into his private studies, waiting for the moment of truth. This is a great movie because we see Mary read the book that Christy Brown ultimately came up with. And it transitions into his past, which is absolutely an awesome way to delve into a movie and dedicate someone's life.
I'm not going to ask you to put your hands in your pockets. Not yet.
Who told you that?
This is Christy Brown's dad. He's an absolute dickhole in this movie, and he dies from drinking. No, seriously, he drinks way too much and is an absolute dickhole to his children. Case in point right there.
There was no need for that.
Yeah, I'm with the bartender. Why do you need to headbutt someone? Only what's his nut from France was able to get away with this, kinda, because he retired. I can't remember his name, but I'm sure he's been doing well since then. This is a young Christy Brown. They treat him like Harry Potter and leave him in the corner. Once again, the dad acting like an asshole. Now, obviously, because Christy Brown is paralyzed, he can't really function his mouth, hence he's not able to speak.
Say goodbye to Christy, Father.
Goodbye, Christy.
Be
Yes, some asshole he is.
The moron. God, he's a terrible cross.
His mother gets taken to the hospital after carrying him upstairs because of all the weight that's been carried on her. Try and take care of Christy Brown. Try and take care of the others because, well, the daddy's an absolute dickhole. As if you haven't figured that out yet.
C is for carrot. Huh?
He obviously is being taught how to read, how to pronounce letters.
Is for dunce.
Ooh.
Poor unfortunate gobshite.
Ooh, that was a bit wrong. D is for dunce? Come on, you can't treat Christy Brown like that just because he's abnormal. It's wrong. Eventually, Christy Brown is able to use his left foot as a gift. And the mom is amazed. Yes, the dad is even amazed. And yes, look at that. He wrote the word mother with just his left foot. This man possesses talent that cannot be seen before. We should sign him up, get him into his contract, and he's going to be obsessed with some sort of problem because that's the case with Ray Charles. No, seriously, that's why this is kind of like Ray Charles.
He's a brown. He's a brown, all right. Christy's a brown.
Hey, the dad's not a dick for once.
Where are you going, Paddy?
What do you think? This man deserves a jar.
So he goes to the bar to rub it in everybody's face that he has a son who is gifted.
This is Christy Brown, my son.
I try to hold my laughter because this is an absolutely funny moment. Everybody stops in dead silence so he can come out and say, "This is my son." I mean, come on, how can you not laugh at that? That seems like a funny moment because it's so stupid and pointless. We transition back to the present time and oh my god. She a hottie. I could see why Christy Brown went after her.
Like Christy. No, he's fine. He's asleep now. Well, I'll give you another.
Now why couldn't you marry him? Instead you got stuck with Uncle Vernon several years later. Obviously his book also has some of his most famous paintings that he came up with. Yes, there's someone more famous than Bob Ross. Or as famous as Bob Ross, I should say, because I don't know if you could top Bob Ross. You can only match his talent. We see that Christy Brown is grown up, and this is where Daniel Day-Lewis comes in. What the hell's up with it? Okay, so apparently Britons like to wear newspaper hats. Because Mr. Bean did this too for his New Year's party.
Go on now, me boy.
He's a man now, Father. Come on, Christy, 17 candles. Now take a deep breath, come on.
Will you shut that baby up, for Christ?
Again, right back to being a dick dad. Seriously, don't tell the baby to shut up.
Go on, Christy. Come on.
You just said the porridge is lovely.
Oh boy.
Keep quiet.
Again, asshole dad. Now, Christy Brown can kind of be an ass himself, and he kind of has the drinking problem. He gets it from his dad, obviously. Because the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. But come on! He's trying to lighten the mood, and you ruin it by being an asshole. What does he do? Oh, he's about to beat the crap out of Christy Brown, but holds back. Even though he doesn't say anything. What a fucking dickhole of a dad. Parent of the year in my book. Eventually, we see that Petunia is involved.
Christy.
No.
You can see why. Look, she's made him speak. It's a miracle. Look what he's doing. He's drawing so perfectively. It's so awesome to see talent not going to waste.
Our enterprises are great picture in the moment, and with this in regard to our current stand, the Royals lose the name of action.
Look, he's able to speak because of her.
Think about Hamlet, Christy.
And cripple.
Again, why couldn't these two get together? Now, if you've done your research and you've Wikipedia'd Christy Brown and how he died, he choked on a lamb chop dinner. Probably from physical abuse from Mary, whom he ultimately married, whom you'll see at the end there'll be like some wording that said that they got married. He died shortly thereafter because of Mary's abuse. Wrong. Again. Way to treat the cripple. Assholes. Which is why I think these two should have been married in the first place. Unfortunately, she's committed to somebody else, and as you'll see in this dinner scene, Christy has had one too much to drink. Now, obviously, he has to use a straw because he can't really drink properly.
That's a 10-year-old.
And this leads to one of the more iconic Daniel Day-Lewis moments. Not this, obviously. But this moment.
Fuck Plato. Fuck all of this, not 100% commitment.
He, of course, creates a scene, and everybody's watching.
Let's discuss nature.
This is gonna end badly, I can tell right now.
Peter, you're a nice man. What are you going to do about it?
And he's thinking about doing something.
This restaurant.
Ooh. They take the glass away, and then this happens. He then grabs the cloth and pulls the table. Wow, I didn't know Christy Brown could do magic. He made everything disappear. This is unfortunately the image of the movie, in my opinion. It just shows that Christy Brown's going down a bad path. He's turning into his father.
Sharon!
Eventually, his father does die.
I'm not a painter.
We think
And Christy Brown tries to be a better man because of it. As he types up his novel.
You have a visitor.
His great, great book. Which brings us to the present day, when they're recognizing Christy Brown for his talented work.
The sort of isolation that every writer or artist must experience in the creative mood, if he's to create anything at all. It's like a black cloud sweeping down on me unexpectedly, cutting me off from others.
Mary hears the words of Christy Brown and decides, you know what, let's give marriage a chance. I'm sure Christy Brown will be a nice man. And the movie ends with them enjoying a romantic day out in the breeze with the outskirts of town just a hill away.
because Christy Brown was born there.
They popped the champagne, and as you can see in the wording, these two got married. A mere 9 years later, Christy Brown died, presumably from Mary Carr's physical abuse because he choked on a lamb chop dinner. Though you don't see that in the movie. What you do see is the cast and the end of the movie. And with that is My Left Foot. One of the most iconic movies that Daniel Day-Lewis has ever been a part of, and probably not as known because it came out at a time when you had Michael Keaton Batman and Harrison Ford wrapping up the Indiana Jones trilogy, or at least we thought he was before Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. So this movie probably didn't get as much recognition as, say, the other two did going in, but boy did it win a bunch of awards because Daniel Day-Lewis is one awesome actor. And with that, We're closing in on Daniel Day-Lewis's birthday, so let's wish him a happy birthday and pay tribute to the man who has made filming as awesome as possible because he's one of the greatest actors to ever live. I'm the CommanderZander. I remembered so that it sounds great now, and neither should you.